How's it going, everyone? Today we are taking a look at an Emerald Sapphire aggro deck. Now, I've seen a couple people start to use this kind of deck type in aggro, and this is my personal take on it. As you can see here, I have a pretty solid list that I've come up with. Again, it's super aggressive, and I really like this list. Just to give a little insight, we have no 1-drops in this deck. Rather, we just have the Popsicle as our only turn 1 play, which I really like, especially if we can get Noi out on turn 2. And if we don't get Noi in the opening hand, we have plenty of 2-drop options, including the Pain into Panic combo, which is a very good combo, especially in the green Mufasa deck that's going around right now. And I think it works really well in this aggro deck. And then we kind of just keep working up the curve. We have plenty of options all the way up to turn 5. You know, turn 2 stack, turn 3 we have all of these options, at least 2 lore on each of them. And then turn 4 we have Prince Charming and Hans, though I don't mind on turn 4 just dropping 2 true drops instead. And then turn 5 we obviously have Hans, Ray, Kuzco, Ray, Cogsworth, and then to round out the late game to keep tempo we have Hades and Genie as well, and then Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo and Let It Go for more removal and to protect our characters. So without further ado, let's hop into a game and see how this deck does. Alright, here we are in our first match against Ruby Amber, so it's probably going to be a Mufasa deck, which I am okay with personally. I don't mind facing a Mufasa deck. Okay, so we have a pretty expensive curve here, no 2-drops. I am going to hold on to the Panic just because if we can get Pain in the mulligan, that would be really good. And even if we don't, Panic is just a pretty decent character to have. Okay, we got Noi for our 2-drop. I'm honestly okay with that. We're gonna ink Cogsworth because he's probably my least favorite 5-drop. I honestly like playing Cogsworth on turn 6 more to give a Kuzco resist or a Ray resist. That way they don't. That way Ray can't die to smash. I think that's a really good move. Okay, so here we are just gonna have to drop Noi even though we don't have a Popsicle. Normally, if I don't get a Popsicle in my opening hand and I get Noi, I'll just send him back. But unfortunately, we didn't have the option because we had a pretty bad mulligan here, but that's okay. So they're playing Stitch and they have the Lantern down, so we can expect probably a turn 4 Mufasa. Now I'm actually not even going to quest with my Noi, rather I'm just going to leave them up because I don't want Stitch to get that free trade. So my options here, I could play Cheshire, I could play Caterpillar and stay super aggressive, but I think this Stitch on board is a big threat to us because 1, he's a shift target, and 2, he can trade into my Noi very easily, which is just going to threaten me. So we're just going to make that trade ourselves using Panic's strength boost and stay a little less aggressive here just because I don't want to deal with that Stitch on the board. So we're going to make that play, and then next turn we can get out our Caterpillar, or we'll do Prince Charming instead because we drew into that, which was very nice. So yeah, we will drop Prince Charming here, and then next turn we can prepare to drop a Ray, which will be really nice because he can trade into the Minnie Mouse for free and only take 1 damage himself, which is a great trade to make. And they don't have Smash in this deck. They're only going to have their removal spells, Dragonfire, Lady Tremaine maybe. Let's see what they do here. I'm expecting them to play Mufasa using Lantern. That's probably what I'm expecting, and honestly I'm okay with that because we're just going to kind of ignore Mufasa. Mufasa can trade into us if we want, but we're just going to kind of leave him alone. It doesn't bother me too much. So we're going to keep our Cogsworth actually and ink Cheshire Cat instead, and then we will drop Ray here. And then we're just going to quest with Prince Charming and Panic. So look at that, we're already up to 7 lore and we're threatening to gain 8 next turn. So I'm expecting Mufasa to either kill Panic or trade into Prince Charming, either of which I will be okay with, because if he trades into Panic we get another 3 lore out of Prince Charming. And if he trades into Prince Charming, well then he dies and his ability rolls. And we'll have to see. Hopefully, I've seen him already ink 2 dragons I think, so hopefully we won't see a dragon come out of that. We'll have to see. So here they drop a Simba to Bodyguard, and then yeah, Mufasa makes the trade in. I am okay with that, like I said before. And they rolled another Mufasa. Okay, you know, I'm fine with that actually. That doesn't bother me too much. And then we're gonna see if Minnie Mouse quests. Minnie Mouse does quest, so I think it's worth it here just to take the trade in. Actually, we can't do that because they have Bodyguard. So never mind, we're not gonna be doing that. We're just gonna keep questing, I think. Alrighty, so here the best play I think to make is to drop our Cogsworth. So we're gonna do that. Cogsworth's gonna go on the board. He's gonna give resist to both Ray and Panic. I could have dropped Kuzco and stayed a little more aggressive than Cogsworth, but I'm not too inclined to do that. So there we go, and we're threatening to get to 19 lore next turn. So again, we could have threatened lethal with Kuzco, but they would have easily been able to stop us between Panic and Ray. And Ray just being on the board here is a huge threat. Unless he has a removal spell of some kind, again, he could be prepared next turn, but most Mufasa decks normally don't run be prepared, so I'm not honestly too worried about that at all. And even if he does, we have Kuzco right after the reset next turn. Yeah, so here it looks like they're weighing their options, trying to find a way to stop us. Again, that Cogsworth giving resist to Panic is really strong, as he's going to have to send in both Simba and Mufasa in order to kill Panic here. And next turn we should be able to still threaten lethal if we put the Kuzco down, and he's pretty much going to have a board wipe to answer that. Then they put out the Stitch Rockstar, but they're only at 5 lore here. Even Minnie Mouse going up isn't going to do much for them. Okay, so yeah, here I think the best play, we just quest out, and then we're gonna drop down Kuzco. And Kuzco has ward, so the only way they're gonna be able to stop us is with targeted removal. So like a Be Prepared, I think, is their only option out. They're gonna drop Maui, which is gonna be able to trade into our Cogsworth. But again, they need a way to get rid of our Kuzco here to keep the game going. And they probably won't even be able to kill Ray, to be honest. Even Minnie Mouse I don't think can trade into Ray. So here they're just questing out, and they're going to get a bunch of lore this turn, but it's not going to be enough. They can get all the way up to 15, and then we can take the wind, and there we go. You can see, even against a meta Mufasa deck, this deck works pretty well. It's super aggressive, not even having a turn 1 play, guys. I'm telling you, this deck really works. But let's hop into a second game. Alright, here we are in a game 2 going against a Sapphire Steel deck. Now, Steel is definitely very strong against this deck. Cards like the Enchantress are super vulnerable to fire the cannons and stuff like that. Okay, we're going to hold on to 1 Enchantress and Pain. We're going to throw back Genie and Kuzco because they're uninkable, and I think we'll keep Prince Charming just to have something to play on turn 4. And we got 2 Bibbidi Bobbidi Boos, which I do not love to see by any means. Definitely not my favorite card to get in my opening hand. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo is pretty good for keeping your character safe, but it's not ideal. Okay, so we have the Pain and Panic combo. I think we're going to keep those, and we're going to ink the Enchantress instead. And the next turn, if we draw an uninkable, we can always ink either Prince Charming or Hans, considering we do have a second one, and they're pretty much the same card, just shifted into different colors. Alright, let's see what our opponent puts down here on turn 2. They're running the meta Sapphire Steel deck. You see a lot of this. Prince Eric, definitely a very common choice. Okay, we did draw another uninkable, unfortunately. That's okay though. We can always ink Cogsworth the next turn, thinking about our plays, because we can play Kuzco on turn 5. We have 3, 4, and then 5 with either Kuzco or Cogsworth. I will probably play Kuzco here over Cogsworth just because I'm trying to be way more aggressive. It's not like the Mufasa deck where I'm trying to protect myself, because they do have Steel, which is going to be a big threat, and it's going to make Ray, I think, a lot less viable because they can use Smash. But either way, I think inking Cogsworth is a decent play. Then we're going to put Panic down, we're going to buff up Pain, and then we will quest with him for 3. Very nice. And so yeah, now we're getting 3 lore each turn from them, and then next turn we'll be able to put down another 3 lore in Prince Charming. Now I do want to get rid of Prince Eric because he is quite strong, and it's pretty bad into our setup right here, because he can trade with Prince Charming really easily, he can trade with Panic really easily, so we want to get rid of Eric if possible. Or we might like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo next turn. Okay, so they're just going to wheel me away. I'm okay with that, to be honest. I didn't like my hand that much. So here we're going to ink Noi. We don't really have a turn 4 play. So again, like I said, putting down 2 drops is a good play on turn 4. So yeah, let's ink Noi. I think we trade in Panic here. We're not getting too lore, but again, Eric is a big threat to our whole situation here. And then we're going to drop an Enchantress and a Flynn Rider. So honestly, I'm totally okay with that wheel. Doesn't bother me that much at all. And the next turn we can ink Flynn Rider or Caterpillar and drop Kuzco. And we can keep inking this game to pull out the Hades, which will be good at removing one of their Cogsworths, which I'm sure they're going to put down anytime soon. And we're threatening to gain 7 lore right now, so a Grab Your Swords would be really good. I wouldn't be surprised if they hardcasted a Grab Your Swords, which is why placing both of these 2-drops probably wasn't the greatest play. Okay, so no, they opted to place another Fishbone Quill. Again, they can ink and still cast Grab Your Swords, however, but they're going to have nothing on board. We won't either, it'll be just kind of a total reset. Okay, they drop Tinkerbell instead, which is a very, very good play. It's going to take out both the Enchantress and Panic, or Pain, sorry. Get their names confused every now and again. Okay, we are going to ink the Enchantress here and drop Kuzco, who has Ward, so he's immune to Tinkerbell's kind of ability. And let's pass. Let's see what they do. The ramp with the Fishbone Quill is extremely powerful, and it is kind of tearing us apart right now because they're on turn 5 with 9 ink in hand, so they have so many options. They could easily sing Grab Your Swords and cast it, or they can opt to shift in Cinderella. They're probably looking through their deck for a Grab Your Swords here. Let's see, did they draw it? They're looking at ways to take out my Kuzco, I think. Honestly, if Tinkerbell trades into my Kuzco though, I'm not too worried about that. I am expecting Tinkerbell to wipe out my board here by either trading into Panic or Flynn and doing that. Alright, Cogsworth is on the field. Again, this is why having Hades is going to be so useful, but again, they have 9 ink. We are so far behind that getting this Hades out is going to be a big issue for us. Okay, there we go. Flynn Rider is dead. So I think next turn we're just going to opt in to play another Kuzco because he's so challenging to deal with for our opponent. Or we could play... I don't really want to give Kuzco resist right now. I'm thinking my thought process, I could either play Cogsworth or Kuzco. I don't want to give Kuzco resist because then Tinkerbell's going to survive his no touchy ability and they can just use Cinderella to finish him off, which is it's not what I want right now. So yeah, we're just going to play another Kuzco, and also then Tinkerbell can use her ability better, and we don't want that. So once Tinkerbell's taken out, I will play my Cogsworth, or next turn I'll play my Hades to remove their Cogsworth. But right now, if Tinkerbell trades in, I'm totally okay with that. We're going to keep getting 3 lore each turn and being able to race with them. So there we go. Tinkerbell is gone, and she cannot deal 2 damage to Kuzco because he is warded. So let's see what they play. They still have 9 ink left in hand. Again, the double Grab Your Swords is a real possibility, which would not be ideal. Okay, they play Belle, so they're going to start questing for a lot with Belle. Honestly, removing her using Hades might be our best play here. Because they've ramped up to 10. They're probably not expecting me to have so much removal, and assuming they don't have a whole new world as their last card in hand, we have some pretty hefty removal ourselves. So yeah, right now they're trying to outrace us, which I think was a big mistake, because now that we have Hades to remove the Belle, that's not really going to be possible. So yeah, we're just going to ink their Belle, and then quest out with Kuzco, and now we are threatening 5 lore next turn to get us all the way up to 19. Hopefully they don't wheel us here, because I do want to play out Ray, because I think Ray will be able to solidify the deal, assuming they don't have Smash. Alright, so they trade in their Cogsworth, and Kuzco's going to be able to take him out, which I'm very, very pleased with. And now, honestly, we are in a very, very good spot. I'm quite happy with this, assuming they don't have, like, super... Yeah, so that's not great for us. Obviously, Hades is going to be gone now, but we are just so far ahead in the lore race, I think, that I'm totally okay with this. And then this turn, I think we're going to drop Cogsworth and Panic down. And we're going to bait out their removals, that way we can get Ray on the board the following turn. and hopefully be pretty safe. So yeah, we'll buff up Cogsworth strength, doesn't really matter. And then pass. Okay, so Panic can't die to Smash, which is really good. That's what I wanted. I wanted to get Cogsworth down before I got Ray, because that means, one, Cogsworth's going to be the source of removal if they have Grab Your Swords. Now is going to be the time for them to play it. And also, once Ray is down, he won't be able to die to Smash. Okay, so they just pass, which I'm totally okay with. What we're actually going to do here is play Ray. And then I think we're going to quest with Cogsworth and Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo him back out. So yeah, we're going to do that. And then we're just going to hard cast Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo to play Cogsworth and put him back out. So there we go. I think this is going to seal the deal because we have an evasive with resist and we have a warded character on board. So unless they have a board wipe of some kind, I think we got the game in the bag. I'm telling you guys, this deck is really strong. I mean, granted we haven't played like Ruby Amethyst yet, but Sapphire Steel and Mufasa Ruby Amber are both very, very good decks, and we kind of crushed them here. Like, he's only at 6 lore, and there we go. He just concedes because there's no way to stop it. The aggro power of this deck is absolutely insane. Let's hop into a third game. Here we are in game 3 going against Emerald Steel, probably a discard deck, though I have seen some Emerald Steel mid-range decks or ones centered around Beast Relentless, so you never know. Alright, we have the Pain and Panic combo into Caterpillar, and then we are going to send back one of our Kuzcos, and I think Cogsworth too, just to give us some more options. Yeah, so Flynn, Prince Charming, we have a turn 4 play now as well. We're going to ink Prince Charming and then just pass, see what they do. Honestly, discard doesn't bother me that much because we're not really a draw-focused deck. We really have no way to draw cards. We just kind of dump out our hand and quest a 20 before they can do anything. Turn 1, Captain Hook makes sense. I'm okay with that. He can't trade into our Pain, which is good. We will ink Flynn Rider here because we don't need him for our curve. And then we'll play Pain and pass. And Panic can trade into Captain Hook, assuming he quests very easily. It's going to ink Donald Duck, yeah, so, and assuming he doesn't have Bucky, I don't think. Okay, no Bucky. I'm honestly really okay with that. I think here we just ink Popsicle. I don't really need to draw the card, and it's just going to throw off our tempo. And again, it's a discard deck, so we want to dump our hand as fast as possible. Here we're going to play Panic. We're going to give Pain the strength boost, and then quest for 3. There we go, and we'll give him his turn. So Captain Hook here can't trade into Pain, and even if he does attack, I'm totally okay with that, because we can take him out easily on the back end. Let's see what he does. He is Steel, so we can expect Smash. Honestly, I'm kind of afraid of that next turn, that my Hans might get smashed. And he's just going to keep questing with Captain Hook. Okay, so this is a trade that I'm going to do. I'm going to send Panic in just because I'm afraid. And this turn, we can probably expect a Tinkerbell to come out from them, which is also a pretty scary thought, but honestly, I'm okay with that. If they can expend all their resources now, that's totally fine by me. So Tinkerbell can shift down, take out Pain and Panic all in one fell swoop, but Hans will still be there, or they can put 2 damage on Hans. Either way, I'm okay with that, and Kuzco will be down and pretty untouchable, I think. So yeah, Tinkerbell comes down, probably going to swing into Pain. Oh, and then take out Hans, I think, would be the better trade for them. I forgot that Tinkerbell does 1 damage on impact. That's my bad. Yeah, so Hans is unfortunately gone. I probably should have saved him and dropped Caterpillar instead, but that's okay. Alright, here we are. We're going to drop Kuzco because he's pretty safe, and we're just going to quest with Panic. There's no reason to attack or keep them alive or anything, and even if Tinkerbell does swing into Panic, they can't put the 2 damage on Kuzco because he has Ward, so we're pretty okay with that. And they're at 5 ink here, so they are in Grab Your Sword territory. Let's see what they do. I'm not sure what else. Beast Tragic Hero could come out here, which would be bad because then they get to draw a lot of cards. Yeah, it is going to be a tragic hero. Honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world though. He's not going to have much threat to our game plan here. And they don't swing into panic. Okay, I'm totally okay with that. I'm not sure if I should ink Cheshire Cat here. I think I'm going to keep them in my hand because they don't seem to be doing any sort of discarding whatsoever. And there's no really reason for me to ink. It's not like I have a Genie or a Hades that I'm working up to. And then we're just going to quest out. So they could kill Kuzco and Panic, but that would get rid of their Tinkerbell, which I'm okay with. And again, we're already at 11 here, so if they don't do anything this turn, the game's basically over. And even if they take out both my Kuzco and my Panic, I'm still going to be getting up to 14, and they're going to have next to no options to remove my Kuzco the following turn. Unless they put down something big this turn, which they very well could. They have the Beast in their hand that they just inked, which makes me assume they have another one. Okay, no, it looks like they are going the discard route with Bucky. Like I said though, I'm okay with this. I will happily get rid of a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. That's why I held on to Cheshire Cat there. And they're not really benefiting off of discarding my hand. It's a little late for that. They don't have a Prince John on field or anything like that, so I'm pretty okay with this play. And then yeah, Tinkerbell is going to swing into Panic. I probably would have done it the other way around, swinging into Kuzco and then going with Panic, but that's okay. Okay, so here, keeping Hades, he's probably just going to get discarded. I don't think we're going to get to play him. And the game might end before then anyways, because we're getting 6 this turn. We're going all the way up to 17. And then we'll drop a Cheshire Cat and pass. The cat could very well die to Smash or Grab Your Swords or Tinkerbell's ability or any one of those things, so I'm not expecting Cheshire Cat to stick around. I just wanted to throw them down so that way they have to use more resources to get rid of them, and then hopefully whoever we put down next turn will be able to survive. Hopefully we draw something like another Kuzco or a Ray or a Cogsworth or anything like that. Prince Charming, you know, the list goes on. So our Cheshire Cat is going to take 2 damage. Tinkerbell is dead in return though, and we have Kuzco exerted, so I'm expecting Beast and Jafar to swing in, or perhaps Bucky and Jafar, and Cheshire Cat is going to die here, and Kuzco is going to take 1 damage, so they're only going to need to use Jafar, which is very, very good for them, and I'm going to have to discard my Hades, which I'm totally okay with. That doesn't bother me. And honestly, this game's going to be really close. I think it's all going to come down to whatever I draw this next turn. Like if I draw another Kuzco, I think it's going to be game. If I draw something bad, it's going to be bad. Jafar is dead though. He traded with Kuzco. And let's see what we draw. We can keep the game running. Top decking is always a dangerous game. And we draw a Ray. That is excellent. We just need to hope they don't have Smash in hand, and we've won the game. Smash and double grab your swords is really the only thing that can stop us. However, they're drawing so many cards, I wouldn't be surprised if they have Smash, which would definitely be unfortunate. Let's see, it's going to be pretty clear if they have an answer or not in the next couple seconds. They're doing Hypnotize to draw more cards. So, yep, and they drew into a Smash. That is really unfortunate for us, but it's good to know that they only have 1 Smash in hand and probably no Grab Your Swords. So if we get another good top deck like that, I think it'll be game over, but I need to top deck something. And that's not going to be enough. That is going to be game, unfortunately. You do win some and you do lose some. Extremely, extremely close game, but we're not going to be able to stop them here. Waiting to see what they do. Yeah, they drop Flynn Rider. It doesn't really matter. They know that they can outrace me here, I think. I have no way to instantly gain lore. Unfortunately, no spellbook, no goat in this deck. Which is something that I think the Amethyst Amber aggro deck has on this one, although I do like this one a bit more, I think. So yeah, we drew a Ray the following turn too, just to rub salt into the wound if only the order had been reversed. We can get to 19, and then we're just going to concede to our opponent. But there you go, 20 to 19, so even against Emerald Steel Discard, which is another top tier deck, we faced pretty well, and if we had just gotten a better draw than that Cogsworth, we would have won the game, and I'm sure there was some other stuff I could have done that would have improved our chances of winning. But let's hop into a fourth and final game and see how we perform. We are in game 4 going against Amethyst Amber, so this is probably a fellow aggro deck, which is really, really interesting. We're gonna have to see how we do against that. So yeah, 2 drops here are gonna be key. I'm gonna keep Noi with the hope that we get something, a popsicle that can help us, because Noi having resist would be really good to trade into Pinocchios and stuff like that. We're gonna throw back Cheshire Cat, keep Caterpillar, and yeah, we'll roll the dice here. So Let It Go and 2 Genies, not the greatest hand. I think we can Ink Pain pretty comfortably, and we're just gonna pass. So depending what they put down here will definitely let me know if they're playing aggro or not. Madam Mim Snake and Maleficent, yeah, so they're definitely playing an aggro deck. That's okay. We're gonna keep that Hans, and I think Let It Go is actually going to be pretty useful here, and so is Genie. Honestly, I'm not too mad that we drew 2 Genies in our starting hand if we can keep the game going to turn 6. Again, normally turn 6 for an Amethyst Amber aggro deck is game over. Yeah, here they play a Pinocchio and quest with Maleficent, I'm assuming. No, they don't quest with Maleficent. Okay, well, I'm gonna happily quest with Noi then, even though she is very vulnerable to Snake. I'm okay with that. We are going to, I think, the fact that we drew an Uninkable really does suck, because I don't want to get rid of any of these cards. I want to play Caterpillar this turn and just race them, but unfortunately I don't think that's going to be possible, so we're going to Ink Caterpillar and play a Panic instead. We'll give the strength to Noi, not that it matters, and pass. Yeah, unfortunately Noi doesn't have resist here. If they are planning to use Fox to get rid of Noi though, it doesn't matter all that much. And they are going to play just in time actually to get out Maximus, who's going to be a bodyguard. Okay, that is interesting. Not a play I was expecting by any means, but I'm okay with that. Alright, we did draw into another Caterpillar. We're going to put down Hans. They're just going to try and race us, which honestly I am 100% okay with. That doesn't bother me at all, because next turn we're going to surprise them to Let It Go their Maximus and take out Pinocchio and Maleficent, and hopefully they don't see the Let It Go coming, and hopefully we draw an Inkable card. Otherwise it's going to have to come out on turn 6, which would be very, very bad. Turn 4 here, Merlin Goat. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the goat sticking around. And yeah, so they quest up to 12. I really need to draw an Inkable card here, or it's gonna be rough for us. And support, they give it to Pinocchio. Okay, good. We drew Noi. So we're gonna Ink Noi, play Let It Go, hard cast it on the Maximus, and then we will take out Pinocchio and Maleficent and quest with Hans. There we go. And now next turn, if we draw another Inkable, we will have the Genie. I don't want to bounce back his goat, but if he plays another Pinocchio or something like that, then we can start bouncing them back to their hand. And Genie is a 2-quester with evasive, which is really, really good, because Merlin Goat is only going to be able to trade into Hans here if he does want to trade, which I don't know if he does. And then we'll still be gaining 4 lore next turn. Though he could have a Fox to bounce it back or something like that, but no, it's just going to die here. He'll get up to 13, and we'll still have 2 lore on board. Let's see what they put down. Looks like they're debating between all the cards in their hand. They probably have some good stuff. Friends on the other side. Okay, they're just going to opt to draw. And then they have 3 here. Maybe drop something aggressive. A Dock. Okay, Dock is an interesting play. Not who I was expecting. We're not going to let the Dock do anything, because I have 2 Genies here. I'm pretty comfortable to just bounce Dock back and keep up our tempo. And this should honestly seal the deal if he doesn't have any, like if he doesn't have, there's no Be Prepared, there's no really removal spells, all they have is aggro power, and we are just outracing them. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they conceded here. I think the game is all but over. And we do have a second Genie in hand, so if they play Pinocchio or something like that, we can just bounce them back. Merlin Rabbit, they're trying to draw more cards, draw a way out of this situation. Honestly, I don't think it's going to happen. Simba, Ink Simba, and they have 3. Maybe replay a Doc. I don't know, it's a little late for Doc though, because he's not going to kick in till next turn. And I think here we actually just hang on to Genie and we drop Array. Another evasive threat, and again, if they don't have a way to board wipe or whatever, I think it's game over. They can get up to 16, but there's no way they're going to be able to bounce a goat 4 times with 7 ink. It's just not something you can do. They could play 2 goats, but again, it'll still not be enough. So drawing more cards with Rabbit, I don't think will help. Yeah, so Doc Judge just opt to quest out, and they have no ink left. I'm not sure what they're debating so hard and long for. There's no way to stop me from winning the game. Maximus, like, they can throw it on a Maleficent or a Lilo. It's not going to do anything. Befuddle, yeah, it's still not going to be enough. They have to wipe my board. I don't think they understand that I'm at 19. Yeah, so that is game. We're just going to quest with Panic, and then we get to 21, and that is game over. We beat the other meta aggro deck. I do prefer this one, like I said. I think it's just better. I think the way it plays, even though there's no one drop, I think it's way better at getting lore consistently compared to the bounce deck. But yeah, let me know, what do you guys think? Do you want to see more gameplay of this deck? What changes would you make to it? What other decks do you want to see me try out? Be sure to let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace out.